In this video, I'm just going to give you a little walk around on the Sundream website. It's only the desktop version of the game that's open at the moment. They do have an app as well, but it's not quite ready yet. So just going to show you a bit around the website. It's going to be a very casual video. Apologies if you hear the clicking of my mouse in the background. I am looking to get, obviously, a much quieter mouse going forward. Yeah, always looking for it to improve. So yes, apologies about that. So this is the home screen. You've got various ways here to go towards your game. Here, fantasy, here probably, and definitely here. So if we just go to fantasy, so it's loading, which is good. It will come up with this welcome message. You can play now. It may ask you just to register at that point. I've already done that, so I think it's skipped that bit. You can select a formation here, but don't worry too much about thinking you have to stick to that formation. It's not the case, because when you add certain players that doesn't meet a formation, it will just change it to an eligible formation. So I'm just going to pick, let's say, this one for now. Yeah, see, no problem if you change your mind. Confirm formation, and there we are. So here we have our 11 spots where we can pick our players. Up here we have our budget, so you get the £50 million to start with, and you have your deadline here for the first game week. So you always need to look up here, because the deadline changes all the time from week to week. There may be double game weeks as well. So the deadlines may be on, a Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So as I said in my first video, one of my top tips would be to make a note of the deadlines. I personally create an alarms in my phone. So that's what I do here. So you can either add a player by clicking here, and I obviously click goalkeeper here, so it will come up with all the goalkeepers here. Alternatively, if we just cleared that one, and it sort of goes back to all, essentially you could just fill your team by selecting the players via the plus button here, and then Haaland, striker, goes in striker role. Fernandes will go straight into midfielder, and so on. I'm going to autofill just for the purposes of the video here. So you have your 11 players. Displayed at the moment is their price, but you can change what is displayed via this drop down option here. So you see it's on price at the moment. You can change it to their next fixture, and you see it changes the fixture under their name, or the percentage selected by people playing the game at the moment. It's a shame that they haven't really found a way to include all three of these under the player, but it is what it is. You do get used to it, to be honest. So there's your team. So here in the player selection area, you can filter the players by their clubs. So if you, let's just say Bournemouth and Arsenal are only playing on a particular game week, obviously very unlikely, you can select these two, and then it will come up with the all the Arsenal and Bournemouth players. Anything greyed out, it's probably, you can't fit them in due to you filled up all the positions in that certain, for a midfield spot, for example, you filled up all of the midfielders, so you can't select that one. Or it may be greyed out because you don't have enough money, so you will need to just transfer out one of your players during the planning stage to then put in the player that you want, which you can afford. So essentially the ones that aren't greyed out you can pick. Obviously I've got Gabriel in my team at the moment over here, and it allows me to remove him via this plus button here. Let's add him again, and we can also obviously cross him off here. So, you know, there's so many ways around adding players into your team here. So we can clear the filters, get back to the beginning. So we can filter by team, you can filter by price. Let's just say we've got to this point where we've got one more space to fill. You can filter here by affordable players, and it should, obviously it's a defender there, so let's click defender. Yeah, obviously I've got 5.5 million in the bank, so it's actually giving me all these options to pick from. But let's just change this player to someone really expensive. So I've changed this player to Gabriel, so we've got 1.5 million in the bank here. So instead of scrolling through all the possibilities, we can condense them down to, you know, defender and the affordable ones, so 1.5 million or less. So that helps quicken the process a little bit. So if I select Johnson here, he goes into my team, and then my budget is 0. So that's that one. And then we can also sort by price, percentage selected, and total points. Just going to see if they've changed this by now. Yes, they have. They hadn't actually fixed this yesterday, but they have got this up and running at the moment. So you can sort by these 3 factors. And of course, top 3 at the moment, no surprises. Erling Haaland, 85% of managers have him in their team, and Fernandes, 44% of managers have him in their team. Semenyo, 22%, and so on. And then you can flip, you know, the high to low to high with this icon here. You see, I don't think they've fixed it. This is the bit they haven't fixed yet. So, you know, we're on percentage selected, but it hasn't changed this bit, so you can't actually search by the lowest percentage selected yet. I think they're still working on the app here, but you get the gist. We're on price now. It's displaying high to low. We can click that, it will display low to high. So we can also search for our players that we want as well, with this feature here. Everything's all set to normal. So if we just search for Semenyo here he is. So he's in my team already. That's why there's not the plus, there's the cross icon here. So yeah, he's out my team, he's in my team. So got a little link to how to score here, which is really handy actually. I think it's quite clear. There, goalkeeper points and bonus points as well. So yeah, lots of ways to score, as you might have seen in my previous video. So that's that bit. So we can confirm this team now because we do have unlimited transfers before the first game week, so you don't need to worry about locking in your team. It wants me to select a captain, of course, so you click on the player you want to be a captain, confirm a captain, and then it wants you to select a vice captain should your captain not play. Of course, your captain gets double points for the game week. So let's just, for the sake of the video, confirm Semenyo as the vice captain. So here it actually asks you to enter your dream team name. So it wasn't actually at the beginning. I had forgotten when they asked me for this. So I'm just going to put it in again and see if it's happy with me doing that, which it is. So as far as I'm concerned, that's kind of locked in, but you don't need to panic because you've got unlimited transfers here. Okay, I've obviously used all of my budget, but how can we adjust this? So we just click the transfer button, and then you can either take someone out your team by selecting this icon here and then putting in, so that's a striker. We can filter striker. Obviously anything in red here we can't afford. We've only got the 1.5 in the bank on this example. We can't select to search from low to high, so I've got to go all the way down and just find some random player, which obviously I'm not going to go for, and then you can confirm the transfer. It will say who you're transferring out and in, and your remaining budget, etc. Confirm. So you can do all of this unlimited times before the first game week. You can also do it before each game week as well, but you just got to keep an eye on the deadline. There will be an icon that allows you to reverse your transfers if you've made them in advance of each game week deadline. So let's say game week 2 you've got 2 transfers. You can make your 2 transfers and click confirm like we've just done, and then there'll be a little icon with a little like curly arrow, I think, and that's basically like your reverse button. So it'll just ask you to reverse the transfers that you've confirmed, so you can still chop and change your 2 transfers or however many that you've built up. Okay, once you've locked your team in, you got your captain and vice captain confirmed. At this point as well, what can you do? Well, you can select, if you want to play a booster, you can select that icon and you can activate whichever one that you want. You can only do 1 per game week, of course, and remember you can't activate any substitute features if you've got one of these activated. You've only got 1 of each of these per season, and you've got 10 substitutes options that you can play per season, with a maximum of 1 per game week. So what will happen during a game week in terms of the substitute feature? So let's say one of your players doesn't play on a scheduled Saturday lunchtime game, but you've got Saturday 3 o'clock to play where someone else that you could sub in could play and perhaps pick up a point. Well, after the game's finished, and that's key, it's after the game you're only allowed to do that. So let's just say Timber doesn't play and a minute of that game, you could substitute him out. There'll be a little S. Well, this is what happened last year. In the top left corner, there'll be a little S button. It basically stands for substitute. You click that and activate the substitute, select who you want to sub out, and then it will give you the list of eligible players that are within your remaining budget and fit your formation that you can pick and choose from. And then you confirm it in the same way. At the end of that game week, your team will revert back to how it was before the substitute feature was activated. Okay, so that is that one. I think we've covered everything on this screen. So what else have we got at the top? Leaderboard. So here's the old leaderboard. Okay, and then if you want to join some leagues, they have a separate England one as well to the global, and you can pick a team that you support league as well. Just let you know, as I've said in my opening description of this channel, I don't support any team. I've just picked the first one on the options because it seemed like I couldn't not choose a team. So please don't think I support Arsenal. I don't. And if you want to join a local league, you can enter your PIN here. Okay, create a league as well. Match Center, so this just shows all of the fixtures for the upcoming season. They had this in a list view on the app, which seemed a bit more clearer than how it appears here. You can, condense by team as well. Let's change that for the season, and then you can see all of, for example, Arsenal's fixtures upcoming. But I think in the stats center is where you can see the upcoming fixtures in a sort of a chart form, which I think is far more clearer. But I think they're still working on this, because obviously this is just not workable at all. You can't even see their names. But on the app last year, they had this quite clear. It's much better to see the fixtures ahead in this chart form than a list, in my personal opinion. I've changed a few things up a bit, haven't they? That's just a list of who's playing who in each game week. I mean, there's all sorts of different things here. And they've got a chart for player stats as well. So this looks quite handy and quite good to view on a desktop because of the amount of players there are here and stats. So here you can search, you can condense order by position and per team, prices, category. And this is what's interesting, isn't it? When we talk about the bonus points, you know, your players have to accumulate the player performance mark metrics, which are all of these factors that we've talked about in a previous video of how to play. So, you know, you can actually search by, let's say, who has done the most dribbles. Obviously, the season's not started yet, but you expect a good old Doku to be near the top. You know, you see his ownership, his game week points, total points, and the amount of bonus points and dribbles. So yes, that's good to keep an eye on to see how things are going. So just to finish off, I just want to show you the how to play area on the website. Now this is a condensed version. Doesn't look condensed really, but it really is. So that's a condensed version that sort of mentions more about the scoring. But if you want a full comprehensive guide, you need to click here for complete information, see our full game rules. And you'll see, I mean, this is a huge description of the game. So I have summarized the most important rules in a previous video, but if you do want to take a look just to clarify the rules, that's where you need to head. So there we have it. So little talk, hopefully it helps the newbies out there who are new to this game, and just have a little play around and see if you can get used to it. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions about how to play the Sun Dream team, please pop them in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them. I'll see you on the next one.